guys. Okay, so I've had a couple of false starts trying to get this reading started. I'm not really sure why. So this is just going to be a collective read for someone. I'm actually going to start doing these for the next couple weeks while my kids are at home, because it just takes me so much longer to do the pick-a-card readings, and while they're home I'm going to have to reserve like my time and energy. So I know I can get about an hour and a half reading out, so I'm going to start doing that. And I might be able to do it more often, maybe more days, but those pick-a-card readings, especially because mine are so long, they really take a lot of energy out. So I think these might be a little bit better for me right now, and then we'll start back to the pick-a-cards when the first of the year happens, okay? Okay, guys, so what we're doing here is this is just going to be a message that's for someone out there. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this, I feel like, is going to be a collective love reading. The reason I say I feel like it's pertaining to love is because when I actually went to get my candle out, I took the top off the lid of my candle and I had a number 2. I have to show you. I had this in there. And I thought, well, wow, okay, so, and I was actually thinking about what kind of reading this was going to be at the time that I saw this. And so either this is going to be about a partnership, connection, 2 people, love, or decisions, or balance, or all of the above. So I'm going to take that into consideration. What we're using here, and this is exciting, this is a brand new deck. It's called the Animal Tarot, and I actually bought it for myself. I've been wanting it for a while, and I finally was like, you know what, I'm just going to buy that for myself. It's Christmas, why not? It wasn't that much anyways, so I got it. And I'm really happy about it because it's been with me for the past couple of days. So I can't put it down. I really am enjoying it a lot. Okay, so I'm not really sure how long this is going to be. If this message, because it's possible that this message might not resonate with you, okay? It's just depends. So you'll be able to tell in the beginning of this, right off in the beginning, if it's going to resonate with you or not. So keep that in mind, guys. You should be able to tell right off the bat. Okay, Spirit, let's do this. Spirit Divine. What message needs to come through, Spirit? I'm not going to take those. I'm actually going to wait for one to flip or fall completely out by itself. Thanks. That's what I was trying out. So we have the moon in reverse. That's so crazy. This is actually the image that's on the front of the box. Isn't that wild? First time I used it on camera and it's the image from the box. Strange. Okay. What is the next message? What is this message between you two? Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. What is this message pertaining to, Spirit? What is this? We have the Tower. And the Four of Wands came out with the Tower. Sorry, guys. My kids are home currently right now. They're supposed to be in school, but I actually have 2 that are home sick. Then we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Swords, and the Five of Swords. Wow. Okay. Just 1 second. Okay. Why is the moon in reverse, Spirit? All right. The Emperor. No. The Hierophant in reverse. Why is the Ten of Wands in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. That one's heavy. Why is the Five of Pentacles in reverse? The Five of Cups. Why is the Ace? Okay. The Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Wands came out with it. In reverse. Why is the Five of Swords here? Why is the Five of Swords? We have Judgment. Bottom of the deck. Wow. The Ten of Swords in reverse. Wow. And the Three of Swords in reverse. With the Three of Wands in reverse and the Star in reverse. I'm going to stop there. No need to go further. Okay, guys. So I want to go ahead and say, I do realize that a lot of y'all that follow me or that subscribe to me, most of y'all that I do know about, know your stories and your situations. Most of y'all do have difficult connections that you're dealing with. This message that's coming through is about a disconnection. This is about something that you and this person weren't in contact with one another, okay? Maybe small contact, but definitely this is not a harmonious union here, okay? So if you are in that, this is not your reading. You might as well just click off. Now the ones that this is your reading and you do resonate with that, I want you to take a big deep breath for me. Okay? This one is going to be a harder reading. I'm not bringing you any information that you don't already know. I just want to bring forward some information that I feel like is going to help you in your situation at hand, okay? I want to note a couple of things before I get started about what has shown itself here. I want to note the fact that the bottom of the deck, overall energy is a number 10, which is about an ending of a cycle. You also have a 10 here, the 10 of Wands. Both of these are in reverse because there's some kind of blockage here of a cycle that's needing to close out, that is enabled to be able to actually close out completely. And I think that you are possibly in the energy of realizing that yourself, that you know something has to come to a head here, or something has to change or move forward. I feel like you know that. The other thing here I want to point out is you do have the Tower energy, and you also have 3 5s out, which is the number of the Tower energy. Sorry guys, I do have kids homesick today, so bear with me. So there's 5 5s here, okay? And the Tower is the same thing as you see 5 5 5. Maybe you have been seeing 5 5 5. When I see 5 5 5, I know that there's fixing to be an abrupt, chaotic, random change that's going to take place, or something just random is going to be coming at me. It could be good. It could also be bad, or not bad, but something that's just going to be making a significant change for me. You have that here, okay? The actual meaning behind the number 555 is a huge change is ahead, but it also means that the universe is doing this to work with you. Okay, it's going to be for your benefit, for your favor. Even if it's painful at the time, I mean, it may not be. But either way, it is definitely in your favor. It's going to be a change that's going to significantly change things for you. Okay. I also want to point out that we have 2 aces out on the table. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse, but the Ace of Swords is upright, okay? So, when we talk about aces, those are opportunities to take a new start, a new beginning, have a new thought, a new emotion about a situation. And we're going to talk about that as well. I just wanted to point that out, that you're in the middle of a cycle right now, or the end of a cycle right now. And I feel like you're trying to push through the ending of this cycle here. And I feel like the new opportunity is right there around the corner. And it's very apparent to me that you have been struggling to close out this cycle, okay? And because you've been kind of struggling to close this cycle out, I feel like Spirit is going to step in and offer a tower moment for you to help you change the way that you are approaching this situation, so that you can have some new clarity, some new understanding about some things, okay? Okay, so that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started in here. Your first energy here, the bottom of the deck, you have the Ten of Swords in reverse. So this is mostly your overall energy. So if you could pick one card to say, talk about this situation, Spirit's choosing to pick this Ten of Swords in reverse. Now, I want to note on this Ten of Swords in reverse, this is kind of crazy, but it's actually a starfish. You know, the star in tarot is about your wishes, your hopes, your opportunities, wishes being granted for you, things that you really want, that you inspire, your dreams. And the reason I feel like there's swords in this is because I feel like something that you were hoping and wishing for certainly didn't play out the way that you thought it was going to play out, okay? And that's even more apparent with the Three of Swords under that, the Three of Wands under that, and then we have that star, right? That star in reverse. So I feel like, guys, oh my gosh, look at that. There is also 2 twos here. Two of Swords in reverse and the Two of Wands in reverse. This is the reason that this cycle hasn't closed. This is the reason that you are still stuck where you are. You didn't get any clarity that you needed. You didn't gain the clarity that you needed. You were searching for something to help bring things back into balance for you. You were searching for some clarity. You were searching for some understanding. And I feel like whoever this was that you're dealing with here didn't make a decision. Didn't give you what you were wanting, what you felt that you needed, okay? They remained indecisive about how they were going to approach this. And the reason is because it was due to fear. Fear of what would happen. Fear of how things would play out. Fear of not being able to have those wishes that you wanted so badly. Does that make sense? So this person didn't give you the clarity that you were searching for because they were in fear of losing things, which left you like this. You also have fear because your wishes didn't play out either. And now you're sitting at this place to where you don't know which move to make. You're kind of losing faith in the situation that you used to dream about. You're just sitting there and kind of wondering, you know, which direction are you supposed to take now? Well, what are you supposed to do now? You know, 3s are the numbers of growth. And I feel like with all these being in reverse and the 10 of Swords and the Star in reverse, you don't know which direction to go. You don't know how to grow from this. And you're stuck right now. It's like you're pushing yourself, right, to grow, or you feel like you're growing by just steadily moving forward, but you're still holding on to things, and those things are just being moved with you, okay? When the 10 of Swords comes up in reverse, it's like you know that there's going to have to be this ending here. That's the thing. You feel it, you sense it. You feel the energy of it. You feel that energy of the closing out, the ending. And you know that you have to go through this, healing from this, without clarity, right? Without understanding. You just have to move forward. But you don't know how to do that. You're just stuck. So that's the energy I'm feeling, okay? If this is not, if you don't resonate with that, then this is most certainly not your pile. This person has gone through hell and back. This person has gone through a lot of emotional pain, a lot of stress, and a lot of conflict. There's been a lot of illusions take place here. I'm going to start here, guys, okay? Speaking of illusions, you have the moon in reverse. That's all about mental confusion. And it's also about suppressing these emotions. You know how I said that you know that you have to close this out, and you're like, you're in motion, you're wanting to move forward past this. You know you need to heal and move forward. But the problem is that you still have this mental confusion. You don't know what to do here. You don't know what lesson you've learned, or what you need to learn, or what you're learning. You're not sure, because you feel like you never got the actual clarity of the situation that you wanted, and you felt like would help you to be able to understand how to move forward. Okay? So now you have the 10 of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles, which is, again, the inability to move forward. When you have the 10 of Wands, it's like this, you know that you need to like delegate how you're going to move past this, right? You know that you need to make yourself this new beginning here, this new opportunity. And you know that you need to like manifest something for the future for yourself. You want to be able to look in that horizon and say, yeah, I see this. Because you're still trying to close out that dream that you had. You haven't quite completed that healing through that yet. And it's because, again, you feel like you need this clarity. But what I'm going to tell you here, and you may not believe me, is you actually don't. need that clarity from this other person that you're looking for in order to move on. So right here, you have the Tower and the Four of Wands. What this is telling me here is that if it hasn't happened yet, it's about to, okay? These two cards here are kind of, it's like this card could be very negative, but with this card underneath it, the Four of Wands is a very positive card. It's about harmony and joy and homecoming and celebration and unity. It's the card of union. It's, you know, it's like the marriage card along with the Hierophant, which you also have, but it's in reverse. Because the Hierophant, to me, in different readings, but in this one, it could talk about lessons that you need to have gone through, lessons that you need to have learned. And with it being in reverse, it's like you haven't actually grasped that lesson yet, right? But here you are, you have the Tower and the Four of Wands. Now, initially, without anything else here, if I was just to see the Tower and the Four of Wands, I would think, wow, that's great. You know, you're fixed to have union here, you know, with self or with someone. But with this one here, guys, it has this blackbird that's in the middle. And instead of the sun, it's got the moon here. And there is no one else in this card. Just this bird. You also have what looks like a wishbone that this bird is sitting on. And what I feel like this is saying here is, I feel like you're going to be stepping into releasing what you thought was going to be a new beginning, what you thought was going to be a new opportunity of some kind. And you're going to have some kind of new perspective, new wish that's going to be like this Tower moment. It's just going to come out like this to you. And it's going to change so much, okay? You not getting the clarity that you needed was purposeful when it comes to your mind and how you worked that out with yourself. You needed to go through that. You needed to experience being able to sit on that, not having that clarity, and having to, you know, you needed to have to analyze that whole situation within yourself, because now you have a new understanding about it. To whereas before, if this person would have just brought you clarity to the table and said, this is the reason, this is why, this is here it is, you would have never had to went through A, the pain that triggered you into this, and B, the understandings of how the situation went and what role you played in that situation. And what you don't see is that that was the lesson. That's the lesson. That's the lesson of the whole entire thing. Is that you don't have to gain clarity from someone else. Sometimes you can actually go through things within your own mind and gain the clarity that you need. And it's even more rewarding that way, because you don't have to understand it through that person giving you the clarity that they see things. You understand it the way that you actually lived it, that you experienced it, which is what you need more than anything else. Because you are the one that's living in your mind. You are the one that's living in your life, not that person. And the clarity that you need here is to understand it doesn't matter what that person felt in this situation. It doesn't matter how they saw this situation. It only matters how you saw the situation and what lesson you learned with going through that. I hope this is making sense, because it's making total sense to me. I'm actually learning a lot through this reading. So the Five of Pentacles here, and then the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is, both of these cards are not, I wouldn't say that they're the best cards to get, for sure. Five is right in the middle, right? It's right there in the middle of where conflict lies, where tension is, where the change is, where you experience loss, right? Right before that, you have the number 4, which is the stability that you have. The number 5 is the number that comes in to just completely rattle things, change things up. The number 6 is right after because it's the healing number. It's the number of harmony and peace. So the number 5 is the hard number. It's the hardest. It's right in the middle. Think of it like, I'm getting this vision in my head, okay? Think of it like if you were seeing a staircase, and I don't know why I'm saying it like this, but if you were to look at the wood, okay, look at just like 2x4s, right? Just put together, stacked up on each other, and there were 10 of them, okay? If you were to put something in the middle of it, where there's still some space underneath, right? It's not as heavy, but you still have all these 5s on top, and you're being like squished, but not in a way of like it's just starting, right? It's just starting to hurt. If you had your hand in there and they started to pile up on top, right? It's just starting to hurt. It's just starting to close in on you, okay? Let me describe it in a different way, because that didn't come out in the way that I'm wanting it to, and it's frustrating me. Oh, okay. I got one. Okay, this one's even better. I like this one. Well, I don't like it, but okay. So like if you were in a 5-story building, okay? If you're only 5 stories up, there's a chance that if you fall off the top, that you'll hurt yourself really bad, but you won't actually die, but you'll just be in a lot of pain. If you were 4 stories, it wouldn't be as bad. If you were 3 stories, it wouldn't be near as bad. If you were 2 stories, it would be probably nothing. Well, it might hurt a little bit, but if you were 1 story, it definitely wouldn't hurt that bad. You know what I mean? Like, think of it, and I'm not talking about a huge building either, by the way, but I'm just trying to give you an example of what 5 is and where you are right now in the midst of understanding all this, okay? I hope I didn't confuse you with all that, because sometimes I get these like crazy images in my head that are just so out there, and I'm like, what are you trying to explain to me with all this nonsense? It's crazy. Okay, anyway. So the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. So some people's, I feel like everybody reads this card in completely different ways. I really do. Every time I hear about somebody, I'll be like, what? I didn't know that was that. And I'm like, I don't ever look at that card like that. I'm going to tell you how I'm seeing it right here, okay? When the 5 of Pentacles is upright, it's not really the best card to have, because it's that energy of you feeling like if you feel isolated, you feel like you're lacking something, you know, you're missing out on some things. You feel like you're maybe left in the cold. But when it's upright, in the way that I'm seeing this, with it being the 5 of Cups underneath it to clarify, I feel like the 5 of Cups is that disappointment. It's that grief that you feel right when you're in the middle of it, right when you're in that heavy grieving period, okay? Right when it just hits you like a ton of bricks. And you don't see how there's any way that you can move on past this, because the pain just hurts so damn bad. That's the 5 of Cups. This 5 of Cups actually has grasshoppers on it. And I read one time that grasshoppers mean prosperity's coming. So good fortune is coming. Things will be turning around for you. And then you have the Five of Pentacles up here, and that was the card to clarify. So what I'm getting from this is you maybe once felt as if you were left out in the cold. But with this new understanding, this tower here, this clarity that you're going to come into within self, right? No one else. Just within self, this new understanding, then I feel like you're going to be able to come through this. I feel like you're going to be able to look at this grief, this disappointment, and see it in a completely different way. You're going to feel like, wow, I feel like I'm going to be able to pull myself out of this. I feel like you're having this understanding that, you know, no one's going to come save you from this. That you're just going to have to, you know, I always say, but put on your big boy boots or big girl boots and just do it your damn self. You know, you don't have anybody that's coming to help you. I feel like, guys, I am feeling as if one of the lessons that you're learning through all of this has something to do with codependency and coming out of codependency. Because you've had to deal with this on your own because this person wasn't giving you the clarity that you needed. You had to deal with it. You didn't have a choice but to deal with this solely alone. And now you can finally see your way out of it. If you haven't yet, you will, because this tower is coming for you, okay? I don't mean that in a bad way. It sounded bad, didn't it? This tower is coming to get you. It's this tower's, this clarity, this overall, like, different perspective is coming. And then you will be able to understand. And then you will be able to see the light. You will have hope. You will have this. You will have this. This is the Ace of Swords. It's upright. And that's a swan. And look how pretty that swan is. That clarity, that breakthrough, that mental breakthrough of that new, you have an opportunity to have this overall new mental breakthrough of how this is going to work out. So underneath this, you have two cards that came out to clarify. The Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Wands in reverse. The Seven of Pentacles is about investing in something long term. The Six of Wands is about not having that. It's like not having the public recognition that you wanted, or it's not having the, you know, not being able to see, how am I trying to say this? What am I trying to say? Things not coming out successfully like you wanted them to, okay? And I feel like whatever this is that you're going to have this clarity on is something that you feel like you invested in for a long period of time, but it never progressed. It never did progress. It never did become successful for whatever reason, in whatever way. It never happened. See these eggs that are in this nest here? One of them's cracked, but it's leaking something, and there's no bird there. And then the other one is cracked here. It's like this is something that you've invested in, that you've had a long-term view on. You know now is not gonna happen. That's the mental clarity that you're facing. That's the mental clarity that you need, that you're gaining within self. Not something you got from someone else, something that you're feeling inside. Then you have the Five of Swords and Judgment. This right here, to me, is very interesting. I'll be right back. I gotta close this. What take it? Sorry guys, it's not my kids, it's my dogs. Or the cat, or the guinea pig, somebody. So this Five of Swords here, guys, with Judgment. What? That's crazy. The Five of Swords, which, by the way, this stingray here is interesting. Okay, so I keep saying there's Five of Swords in this in this Judgment. I can't get to it. It's killing me. I was gonna say something too about the stingray, and now I don't remember what exactly I was gonna say about it. Dang it. You see how its tail's tied into this one sword, though? It's like you're taking this new clarity here, and you're moving in some kind of direction with it. The Five of Swords is about, it's about having a hollow victory in a situation, right? That's what it is. That's what you're figuring out. Judgment. Judgment is about having that realization, having that truth, having that knowing, right? That inner acknowledgement there, and being able to bring that to the surface, okay? That I feel like you are going to have this hollow victory in this situation. But the thing is that you're going to take that clarity along with you. This reminds me a lot of the Six of Swords for some reason, because this stingray is moving into calmer waters. And he's only taken this one sword, which is the clarity that he's gained. So it's like you're taking this one sword and knowing that you're not going to have the victory that you wanted here in this situation. And that is the awakening, okay? Judgment is about that spiritual awakening. That is the lesson. That is the awakening. That's what you had to go through. You had to experience that by yourself, with yourself, so that you could put on your own damn pair of boots and take care of yourself. You had to, okay. So for a long time, guys, you might have been through a period with this person where you were trying to gain information from this person for a long period of time, trying to have an understanding of how they felt, what they needed, or whatever they're experiencing here. And it wasn't coming. You weren't getting anywhere. You weren't getting it. Either they were ignoring you, ghosting you, whatever you want to call it. But you weren't getting what you needed from that situation. And there was highs and lows in that. I feel like you kept getting little nitpicks of hope, right? That kept you kind of lingering on. Every single bit of that was purposeful. Every single bit of it was purposeful. Even the pain is the most purposeful. Because without the experience, the pain, you wouldn't have that thought to need that understanding. You see what I'm saying? If things were going great, you wouldn't have had to figure out why it hurt, because it didn't. You needed to go through all that. You needed to have those ups and downs. You needed to have that little bit that kept pulling you back in, so that you would want to keep going back, to keep exploring this, because there was something huge that you were figuring out, that you were learning. And I honestly feel like a lot of it had to do with self-love and releasing codependency. Learning to nurture yourself. Learning to really love yourself, like really and truly take care of yourself. Not waiting for this person. If they would only just be clear, if they would only just tell me something, if they would only just. Well, why? Why are you waiting on this person? Why are you waiting for this person to give you some kind of clarity or whatever it is before you can finish what you're doing in your life, before you can take care of yourself and move on? The reason is because even though to you this person was being a jerk, there's no telling the things I'm sure you went through all kinds of things. I'm sure you went through periods of anger, frustration, guilt, definitely sadness. But Spirit is trying to get you to understand, or will. This is coming. Unity is coming, but it's unity with yourself. It's having that realization with self. That way you can move forward and move past this for no one else but yourself. You know what your worth is. You know what your, I just heard tolerance. You know what your strength is. You also know what your weaknesses are. And I feel like that's something else that kind of fluctuated throughout this whole journey. You actually may have went through periods of where you may have opened yourself up to this person or been very vulnerable with this person, which I feel like might have not been something that you're used to or you would normally do with someone. But for some reason, this person you were. And by doing that, opening yourself up and being vulnerable in that way, opened you up to an opportunity of pain, which was purposeful. But I feel like you might have went through a period to where you regretted that. And I want to say to you, don't ever regret that. Don't ever regret something like that. You know, vulnerability is a superpower. It is. Sensitivity is a superpower. There's not many people out there that are capable of being vulnerable and owning it. How many people do you know that feel a certain way about someone and can just walk up to that person and tell them how they feel? I mean, I'm not saying you should just go up to whoever you want to tell them. I'm saying a lot of people resist that. They have fear. They have worry. They're trying to protect themselves from all kinds of hurt, pain, all this other stuff. There's not a lot of people that can just be so bold and be so comfortable with their self that they can do something like that. That's a superpower. That's something that you need to hold on to. That's something that's precious about yourself. You know? And I feel like that's something that you had to that fluctuated within this journey with this person that you had to learn. Okay, so what we're going to do is they're wanting me to use these. Oh, I didn't really want to, but they want me to talk about, look at that, healing and book. Look at that. They're wanting me to talk about your road moving forward, like what's ahead of you for some reason. So let's do that. So what's ahead of this person? Spirit, what do you want to show me? Okay. Ring. Again, this is like the card of union. Agreed upon mutual union between lovers. Marriage could be involved. So it's very possible. I hate to say this. Whatever lessons that you're learning here, someone else could be learning those same lessons, okay? Could be this person, could be someone else. But I feel like something that you are, and I feel like you will know this if this resonates with you, your mind actually might be going to a place to where it can kind of venture off into where I feel like you already are trying, you know, new wishes, new hopes, new dreams. And I feel like Spirit's just wanting you to understand that that is meant for you in the future. What else? Isolation. Isn't that crazy? We have union and isolation. Alone time is needed. Time for deep soul searching. Yeah. I do feel like this has a lot to do with union with self, though. Now that isolation came out with that, I feel like this is kind of insinuating that the future, that's what the future is union with self. What else? What else? New love. A potential connection awaits. This is what I was talking about, guys. Now they're like, no, you were right the first time. Had to do with that. Let me just prove to you why. So you may have new love coming to you in the future. You know, you don't go through these kind of things. You don't experience these things and learn these lessons without, you have to, when you close a chapter out, a new chapter has to start. You know, your life's not over. Something else has to happen. And I feel like this is saying that once you spend this time in isolation with union with self, you know, figuring this out, new love will come. What else? Wisdom. So when this new love comes, you'll have a whole new perspective of relationships, of how to incorporate this new self that you have, this new, you know, this new union that you have with self, this new idea about independence and codependency and how relationships should play out. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else you want to tell us, person? Soulmate. Yeah. It's telling you to embrace the connection that's coming to you. I do feel like you have something that's coming here. Some kind of new love that's coming. Now, for those of you that are wondering, okay, there's a possibility it could be this person that you've experienced this with, but I'm not feeling that for very many of you at all. I do feel like this is someone completely different, completely new that you're going to connect with, that you may possibly be connecting with almost exactly like you connected with this person. But I feel like it's going to be in a much better way because you're grown, right? You know more about yourself than you did. Let's see if there's anything else. Is there anything else, Spirit? Is there anything else that you want them to know? Anything else that you want them to know? Anything else that you want them to know? Anything else? No? Okay. I'm going to put that one up. Let's do the cards I had out, which are, we're going to start with this one. This is Shine, called Shine Oracles. I think that's all that's called. I hope that this message gets to who needs it, and I hope that this helps you understand or have a new perspective in some kind of way, some kind of clarity, some kind of way of looking at it in more of a hopeful sense. So if this new clarity hasn't came to you, it will. You know, this reading may help with that. It doesn't matter what you hear, you know, it doesn't mean that you're going to have that thought or idea. You have to have that within yourself. So it's just giving you a new way of looking at it. What do you want to... Okay. So we have, your reality is a reflection of your inner world. There are 5 flowers here, guys. So that change is your destiny. It's part of your fate. It's in your hands. Your reality is a reflection of your inner world. This is you having that concept of new love, you know, what you want for yourself in the future. Your reality is what you make it. Your reality is whatever you're feeling on the inside is how it's going to play out on the outside, you know. Allow unlimited abundance. Yeah. I don't know why, for some reason, and there's not even 5 here, but for some reason this image is making me think about the 5 of Swords. And allow unlimited abundance. Try not to have conflict when things don't play out the way that you wanted them to. I think this is the overall message, really, but even if it's small things, okay? Because if that door shuts, it's because it was purposeful for it to shut. There's a different door that's going to open up for you, okay? Don't see it as a missed opportunity. See it as divine protection, okay? What else? What else? Set your intentions with heart and soul. So when you set these intentions of what you want for your future here, make sure that you are feeling it, okay? You have to feel it. You have to feel it like it's going to happen. That if you carry along with you that doubt, okay? If you carry along with you that idea of it not playing out in your favor, not going to work out, not going to happen, not going to do this, no. Those are all negative mindsets, and those lead to the wrong path. You need to keep being positive as much as you can. I know it's easier said than done when things happen, but if you could just, the first thought in your head after you feel those emotions is, what's the good that comes out of this? Even if it's something stupid, you know, something small. Like, for instance, there was a truck that pulled out in front of me this morning while I was trying to take my kids to school. It didn't even stop at the stop sign, and it had a brake light out. So irritating. They slowed down right in front of me. And the whole time I was just like, oh my gosh, people, you know, like, you know how you do when people are driving. And, and then I thought, you know what? Maybe this truck pulling out in front of me is keeping me from getting into some kind of horrible accident. So I just need to just take a deep breath here and just be thankful in that moment. And I did, and it was. And we still got there on time. Everything was fine. So the bottom of the deck says, show off your sparkle and shine from the inside. And I wanted to go ahead and show you all that. And I felt like it was purposeful for this reading. Because show off your sparkle and shine from the inside. You know how inside you're just, right now I feel like through this, you know, through this journey that you've experienced and everything and what all you've accomplished and came through, I feel like you're just like shining on the inside. Like, I can't believe I got through this. Like, I can't believe I did this. And it's even more so the fact that that codependency was gone. You know, you couldn't rely on anybody but self. And so you're thinking this whole time is, at the end of it, it's so great because you're like, you know, I did this. I did it. You know, it was me alone. Me and myself, and I got myself through this, and it feels really good. And that feeling on the inside will show from the outside, and you need to show it. You know, you need to, that's that light you need to bring out into the world. We need that light. Whatever light you provide, it helps humanity, you know. Through your learning and through your pain and through your experiences, it brings you more light to yourself, which in turn brings more light to the world, humanity. Okay, so let's get some more. Let's see what else comes out. It says full moon in Aquarius, be real, which is kind of what we just talked about. Be yourself, you know, bring that light out. And it has that big old moon, which is in all that water, full of all those emotions and feelings. Oh, wow. Okay. 2 cards. I think. Yep. First quarter moon in Cancer. Push through any insecurity. Again, it's pushing you to be yourself. I feel like that's where you shine. That's where you're the brightest, is yourself. Last quarter moon in Libra, make time for self-love. Yep. Guys, that's what you're learning about through all this. You need to make sure that you keep that in mind. It's very important to always remember that all this is happening for you. Says, clear your mind, the last quarter moon in Gemini. Yeah. Every time you feel like, even if this person comes back up and it starts to, those emotions you feel start to creep in, take a deep breath. Take a few deep breaths if you have to. But always come back to yourself and know, clear your mind and think, I've broke this. I've broke this cycle. I'm not that person anymore. I need to take a deep breath and know I'm better than this. I know who I am, and I'm going to act appropriately. Do you know what I mean? It's like, don't let someone else try to get the best out of you, you need to make sure that you set healthy boundaries around yourself, okay? There's a level of being vulnerable and being able to have boundaries and knowing your boundaries. And you need to make sure that you apply those where they need to go. Don't let somebody try to just run you back over. You've definitely grown and you've worked way too hard to allow something like that to happen to yourself. I mean, we all have setbacks. Don't down yourself if you do. Just know that you know how to pick yourself back up is what I'm saying, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna get a few of these and then we're gonna close out. I have no idea how long this reading was because I had so many interruptions, imagine that. Okay, Spirit, some words of advice, please. Spaciousness. What do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. Show me what will fill me with enthusiasm and joy. That's that energy, guys. That's that energy I'm just talking about. Of you just transforming that. You know, make sure that you have those boundaries that are healthy boundaries for you. And you'll know how someone reacts. It's a huge red flag when you set those boundaries up and the reaction they have when you do that. You shouldn't be able to know who's okay for you to associate yourself with and who you feel like is not okay in that moment, that drains your energy, okay? What else? Trust. When love is invited to take over, right actions arise at the right time. Allow me, dear divine, to wait patiently until the timing is right. Let me rest in the unknown until a clear path is shown. Okay, guys, this is about love in relationships, I feel like, because that's what came up in the background here with the soulmate. Make sure you keep thinking to yourself, if you do get lonely, those times when you think, you know, I just really wish I could just hold somebody right now. You know, I'm single too, guys, and I feel like that is, oh, that's going to make me sad. I do feel like that creeps around every now and then about, you know, just being able to just hold somebody, just being able to have that, like that embrace. But when you feel that way, trust, right? Trust that the timing will come in, the timing will be right when you're ready. You know? Just rest in the unknown until you know the path that you're supposed to be taking. You know, it will come for you. Probably when you least expect it. True offering. May I release the fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax into your plan, trusting that the next steps will always be shown. Use me, love. Use me for the highest. I am yours alone. Wow. This is again another message of trusting the path. Trusting you are where you are because you're meant to be there. And you'll be going where you're going because you're supposed to go there. Okay? Okay. Whew. Oh my gosh. The bottom of the deck I have to read because it says self-acceptance. Nothing is more exhausting than endlessly working on yourself. Yes, no kidding. When you offer your whole being fully to love, self-acceptance arises spontaneously. May I rest in your oneness, dear divine. This is a calling for you to make sure that you always remember that you're not alone, that you do have, you know, angels, spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors, divine, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. There's an unseen world out there that's helping you, guide you. And if you're unsure of that, ask. Ask for signs. Ask for help. Ask for anything. And look, pay attention. Leave your eyes open. I feel like you already know this, because I do feel like this is a journey that you've already been on. But I just wanted to emphasize on that, because I feel like that's part of this message here. Okay, guys. Whew, I'm going to leave you there. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it helped you. I hope that it gave you some kind of clarity or peace or whatever it was that needed to be heard, whatever it was. I just hope that it helped you in some kind of way. That's my whole purpose. And I'm going to continue to do them like this, guys, for the next couple weeks, like I said. So, yeah, let me know. And thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen to me and the whole reading and all my interruptions that took place. And yeah, and I hope to see you again. Thanks.